Hello, welcome to Towards Ahimsa's Virtual Camp 2021 Craft Corner. Now, today we are going to be making a craft using paper pulp. Now, many of us know that paper comes from trees, but we realize just to make one edition of the New York Sunday Times requires 75,000 trees. Now, that's a lot of trees. And to think that about 26% of all the waste in our landfills is paper. Now, that's a lot of paper that we consume and waste. That was the motivation for today's craft, is to take the paper that we use in our everyday life, whether it's the newspaper that we read or the toilet paper roll that we have, or whether it's a paper bag that we're putting in recycling, to take that paper and say, hey, what else can we do with this? How can we give it another life? So we're going to take that paper, we're going to mush it up, we're going to find a beautiful mold for it, and we're going to turn it into something fun to play with, something beautiful to look at, or something even useful that we could use around the house. Now, this type of craft using paper pulp is very old. It's been done all around the world. If you've been to parts of India, you'll see stuff like this. This is a paper pulp game that was created. It's a snakes and ladder game. Or in other parts of India, you may have seen containers like this, which is also made out of paper pulp, and it's colored with beautiful gold paint. And it could be very useful to put some little trinkets. But even in North America, when you go to the grocery store, you may see containers like this, which are used to store strawberries or other fruits. And also, they're made out of paper pulp. The paper pulp crafts are very old, they're very common, and they're actually a lot of fun to make, and they're very useful. So let's try it. It'll be fun to try.
For the craft, you will need newspaper, thin cardboard, a large bowl, a plastic bag, a strainer, water, some container to use as a mold, and glue. Optional items include a blender, a pair of scissors, and paint. First, in a large bowl, you want to rip up or cut your newspaper and cardboard into small, tiny pieces. Next, you want to add warm water to your newspaper. If you find that you have glossy or tough paper, you may want to let your paper soak in the warm water for about a half an hour. Next, you want to start kneading your newspaper until it becomes a nice, mushy pulp. Keep on going. It may take about 10-15 minutes to do this. We're going to show you another method to do this as well. You can see how mushy the pulp is now. It's almost like a thin oatmeal. Now, if you find that kneading by hand is a little too difficult, you can get a blender with an adult's help and blend the paper pulp into a finer mush. Next, you want to strain the pulp out as much as possible, just using a strainer and your hand. Now we've strained out most of the water. It's still wet, but we can at least make a shape with it. Now you add liquid white glue to your mixture. There's no exact amount. I just added enough so that I could make it into a large ball, kind of like a ball of dough. Next, grab an old plastic bag and cut it open. You're going to use it to line your mold so the paper pulp doesn't stick to the mold itself. The red bowl is going to be our first mold, and we're going to put the plastic bag just right into it, just like that. Next, we're going to put our pulp in the mold, smooth it out with a spoon, and then use the spoon to make a little design around the edges. We want to make sure that the pulp is spread evenly around the mold and that there's no air pockets. Up till now, I've shown you the paper pulp that we mashed by hand, but I also wanted to show you the blender version. It's definitely a finer consistency, much mushier. And the ball after adding the glue was also finer, but we'll see if it actually makes a difference with our product in the end. Besides the red bowl, we used this square box as a mold as well. We also made beads and a pterodactyl just for fun.
Not yet. Just give it a sec. Okay, so our paper products are dry. We have ended up with, show off what we have. We have a bowl.
And a
box. And a pterodactyl.
meow.
And we have made a bunch of
Bees.
beads to make a necklace later. Yeah, so we're pretty excited. That's okay, it's okay. So,
And we started for oven that we can get harder.
let me explain what she's saying. So, I thought it was only going to take 2 days to dry, but it didn't. It actually took a little longer. Even after 3 days, they were still kind of wet. So, as Satya has explained, we actually put them in the oven for about an hour, I think, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, for at 175 degrees.
No, not hour. For when we were paying.
Yeah, about an hour.
Dryer.
And then, if you tap it now, they are rock solid. And they're going to be really useful. I am going to put...
And look, this can't break.
It can't break, yeah. So I'm going to be putting keys in mine because I had a plastic box for that actually did break before. So this is going to be a nice replacement. And I also wanted to show you something else, that this is the container that we used the hand mashed newspaper.
And also,
Wait 1 sec. And this is the one that we use the blender for. And there's not really a lot of difference. Do you see a difference between the two? No, right? They're really similar in terms of the texture. So
Yeah.
okay, 1 sec, dude. So okay, go tell them quickly.
and we also put beads inside here.
Yes, we also put beads inside of here too.
And also, we'll paint them now.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do now. Actually, we're gonna paint them and we're gonna make them beautiful. And we want you guys to do the same thing. Make them. No, we don't need these ones. Make them beautiful. Show us what you made, and share it with us. Yeah, we're excited to see what you come up with.
But these are